What if you're using a JPEG or a TIFF file and you don't want to use Camera Raw? Is there some way to do the same kind of thing in Photoshop? Well, there is. I'm going to actually use this one even though it is a RAW file. I'm just going to shift double click to force it just to open as if it's a JPEG without any Camera Raw. Now let me pause and say I really think even if you're not up until now haven't been a fan of Camera Raw, you want to explore it because frankly it's just easier and you'll get better results, I think. But just so you can see, here's how it is at least theoretically possible to do the same kind of thing in Photoshop. So I'm going to use one of my adjustment layers. I could use levels or curves, but the important point is I'm doing it as an adjustment layer, not by going to image adjustments. The reason I'm doing that is because now I can over adjust my image and say I really want to see the distinction between her dress and the white background, and if I have to really push sliders in some crazy way to do that, then I will. I mean, here I've pushed this really far, but now my selection tool should do a pretty good job because there's such a contrast between the subject matter and the background. So the theory is kind of the same, it's just not quite as easy to work with because you have to push things really far and sometimes you lose, like in this case, a bit of detail. But if you want to do it with adjustment layers, here's how you do it. Add an adjustment layer, move things really far, make your selection, and then once you're happy with it, throw away the adjustment layer. So really the adjustment layer has only been there long enough to make the job of the selection tool a little easier. Given the choice, I would highly recommend this method of making sure you're opening in Photoshop as a smart object going back and forth to Camera Raw. However, it is nice to know that if you need to, for some reason where you're not able to or you don't wish to do smart objects through Camera Raw, you can still use the same concept using adjustment layers.